been maybe over, but the little things for you initial, the checks you signed.
Oh, I didn't do it, right.
Yeah.
I did the first one, I didn't do
They said
the
they probably-
pages. Yeah, I'll do it.
12:01.
I got to do that.
Yeah, well, you know, you've got someone you're taking care of before, so that's.
Well, so are you.
I know, that's what I mean, it's been a rough morning.
All of yours.
Don't get old either for yourself.
What's that?
I know you got your mom at home, but don't get old. That's a whole other problem when you get older.
Listen, I can't believe I'm 60 right now.
Halloween
Wow.
and election day.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you give it to me.
It's going so fast.
Get your AARP card.
I will not get AARP because it's United Nations.
And then 11:05.
I'm 75. But you can get there.
I'm not that far off.
Just gets more fun and more fun.
I boycotted for years AARP. They have some good stuff.
12:02.
Recording in progress.
I'll call to order the meeting of the Board of Commissioners for Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. 12:02. Join me for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Media questions? Seeing none? Public comment?
Oh, yes, Fred came from Wolfboro.
Don't sound so, oh yes, what do you mean?
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes I think you don't like seeing me here, but you haven't chased me away yet. So, the DPW director mentioned the hydrants, and I did get the warranty on the hydrants that he said have been sitting in the parking lot for 3 years. There's a 10-year warranty on it, so we're already gone 3 years down to 7. But again, I think that's poor management to order hydrants and have them sit there for 3 years before they use and lose 3 years of the warranty already. And also the agency, I did get the breakdown of the agency. We've spent $2,146,000 as of the end of September, so we're $980,353 more than we were last year at that same time. Again, I think that's shocking that it needs to be addressed, and it hasn't been addressed. And then lastly, I did get the Carroll County Nursing Home chart here. I don't know if you people have seen it. I've been told that it was put together by the administrator and okay to be released by the commissioners, but the first line up there is the administrator, then you got the receptionist, and then the director of quality. And then you got the others behind there. I would assume the first line would be the administrator because he's got a license for that building. The second should be the director of nurses because her license is posted on that building. But the second here we have the receptionist. And then it goes down to the director of quality. I think that you ought to take a look in this chart and revise it to the way it really should be. And it could also be the director of quality could be above the administrator so that she could report back to the commissioners directly, so she wouldn't feel, you know, that if something came up, she couldn't deal with the administrator. But, you know, I remember back a couple of years ago when the ADON was released, she was third in line, and now it looks like, the DON is fourth in line here, so I think that needs to be addressed. Thank you.
So I'm back again, once again, probably just my venting, but I'm disappointed further because here we are again, another meeting. None of the people that are running for these seats, except for you people, are here. And you're here because you're already there. But I see a bunch of signs, so I don't see any of these people coming. I have no idea what their stance is on anything. As I keep saying, this is ridiculous. Government is not working right. I don't know what we're going to do about it, but something needs to be fixed. So I'm just going to keep coming up and venting all the time. Thanks.
Any other public comments? Approval of the meeting of minutes for October 3rd.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of October 3rd.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Accounts payable for October 9th was $676,650.65. Put my glasses on so I can read it better. Jeez. Okay.
Motion to accept that?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
And we do not have payroll. Okay. Won't be done until later today. We will go into recess for Hales Location Board of Selectmen meeting.
12:07.
I have nothing. I have called Concord and they told me that they would send me a written paper on the updates at Hales, which I have not received yet. And I know also the health inspector had called Horizons, and their comment was that they have asked for more information. So that's where we are. Other than that, I have nothing for Hales. Anybody? Okay.
I think you do have minutes for Hales, Madam Chair,
Yep.
October 3rd.
October 3rd.
Yep. Okay.
Those are signature copies. Thank you.
Need a motion to accept the minutes for October 3rd.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Fred?
Yes, I received a copy of the administrative order from DES on Hales location on the failed septic system. It's administration number 23-006WD, which was May 23rd, 2023. In here, in the descriptions and stuff, on December 7, 2018 was the first complaint of failed septic in there. And if you haven't read this order, I think you ought to get one and read it and see that this can's been kicked down the road an awful long time, and that, it's still up to the Board of Selectmen and the health officer to do something with this failed system. You don't have to wait for the state to do something. You have the authority to do it. Thank you.
Just for the sake of the people that are out there watching. And Mr. King is correct, however, there isn't an unsafe situation there now. As long as the tanks continue to get pumped, everything is acceptable. So it's not an unsafe situation. It has, I agree with Fred, it has gone on way too long. I don't know what the problem is. They just keep asking for more and more information, which I don't understand. And we've had two septic designers do plans, so I don't know. And believe me, we've tried. We've all called DES, and we've talked to them. For whatever reason, we can't shake an answer out of them. I don't know what the
And
deal is.
if you read the RSA, it perfectly states that pumping is not an option, and to go on for years pumping, that's not an option to fix it. Pumping's been going on for years, and it also states that in here, and that's not a fix to the solution. Thank you.
Right, Tom? Well, the state's aware of the problem, and everything's held up at their end because of paperwork that they're not providing us as to what we need to do or anything else. We think everything has been taken care of. We've done everything they've asked for, and it's on somebody's desk. So I made a call myself, and it's government, I guess, at their end.
Could I say, I would like to go back to what I originally stated. Something's not working here. This should not have taken 4 years for them to not give us an answer on this. And you can blame it on government all you want. You're government.
Well, not really.
Well-
Not really. We don't have the ability to sign off on it. We can't sign off on it. All we can
Then
do,
this is the problem.
well, there may be a problem.
No
but
more
we
local
can't
control
fix
over
it.
anything.
Believe me, I like to think I fix problems.
I understand.
This one's a really, I think there's more to it. I don't know what it is. I haven't been around long enough I haven't been involved long enough. It seems as though with 2 septic designers and everybody else, it should have gotten signed off by now.
60 to 90 days.
Call up DES and ask them why it's not happening, because that's what we do. And
Well,
I don't know about you, I haven't gotten any answers.
No.
We've done our work.
All I said, they would send me a written statement on the updates.
just like everything else,
Haven't
they
got
just
it.
stand in the way.
It's
of the
annoying,
people.
but it is what it is.
Believe me, White Mountain Hotel doesn't want to keep pumping. Do you know how much money they're
They
spending on
spend
pumping?
a lot of money.
So
But they
they're
haven't-
pushing too. When their
Hundreds of
attorneys are
thousands.
pushing, I don't know what the
They
problem
hadn't
is.
put a plan together for years and pushed it to the state. The state just received a plan within, this last year, and we're talking multiple years.
It doesn't matter.
Do you have minutes for us to,
Yeah. I gave them to Commissioner Nelson.
oh, you have the other one? You gave them, I have Hales, but not ours.
Yep, the other ones are there too.
Oh, I see. You gave us one for the commissioners to sign.
Yep.
You see it?
Oh, right here.
Oh, I thought it was a Hales thing, sorry.
That's okay. So that's done. We can already go back into our regular commissioners meeting,
12:13.
12:13. Bob, I guess you're next. Rich. Did you get my message this morning?
No.
Okay, okay.
Anything important?
Yeah, well, talk.
Sure. Rich is gonna drive this bus.
Okay.
Okay, as you know, we have money in the capital budget, that we put in annually. Currently, we have over $41,000 for a couple pieces of equipment. But looking at the needs of the facility, we're looking to shift that money, still gonna be a capital purchase, but instead of being for a bladder scanner and some sailing lifts, we're looking to reallocate that money for flooring on the first floor. So anyone who's been in the building, the flooring on the ground floor is, had come with the place. It's 14 years old. So there are some spots that Bob and his staff have tried to clean repeatedly. When things spill that are soups and things like that, very oil-based, it's very difficult to get out. So we did get a quote from the same contractor that did our Mount Washington Valley room at the price of $34,585. So I just want to make sure that it's okay to transfer or reallocate the funds instead of those pieces of equipment towards the carpet on the first floor. And as well as since they got the bid for the Mount Washington Valley Room, still forego the competitive bid process and go with the same company out of Wolfboro.
So what was originally allocated for, you don't feel that you
A bladder scanner, which we
don't need?
Well, we have one.
We have
We have
one.
one.
And bladder scanners are great if you do a lot of things with kidney disease and things. So we do have one. It's shared amongst the units, and we talked to Director of Nursing, and she was more than okay with the one. And the other one was for some more ceiling lifts, and we have a bunch of ceiling lifts. Bob's goal is to get 80% of our building to have ceiling lifts, but we probably only use half dozen currently.
Well, as you know, I'm trying to get to that mark, 75, 80% there, and we're getting there. And I've been buying a few a year for the last 13 years. I've been buying a few a year, and we're willing. We have enough on hand that we're okay right now, but we're willing to forego this year's purchase in order to do this need. The carpeting that's up there is 14 years old. It's starting to show signs of wear. There's some stains that we can't get out. It just doesn't look as good as it did when it was new, clearly. And this presents us a good opportunity to take care of that.
Questions?
Any sense if the prices will be going up next year?
Oh, they always do. After the first of the year, there's always price increases.
So in essence, we could be saving money. I don't want to just spend money, but we could be saving money.
Well, by not waiting, yeah. And since this just went out to RFP for the Mount Washington Valley Room just a few months ago, and it's the same vendor, same pricing structure, we're asking to waive the process.
Is it 34,000?
34,585.
And I'm assuming that has some you're having extra because it's tiles, so
Right.
that it can be replaced.
Yep, I always purchase extra. Got a couple boxes on hand in case anything happens, and we want to use the same pattern throughout the first floor. We don't want to get artistic and, do fancy things, change colors and patterns. We want to keep it consistent.
They did right by us the first time. They did a good job. They worked around us a lot of times, and since they have history with us, it's going to be a more difficult process because it's by the elevators. But they're willing to work with us, and and the good thing with this, again, the flooring tiles. If we have a stain, we just pull it up and put another one down.
If they hadn't just won this bid by competitive bid a few months ago, we wouldn't be asking. But this is right on the heels of a project that they just did for us.
Do we have 2 other bids last time?
We did.
So there have been bids.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I want to know.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we proceed.
So I don't know if we should do 2 separate motions, one to waive the bid process and one to change.
I thought we just did the bid process though.
Yep,
Right, this is for the Mount Washington Valley Room.
yep.
Yep.
But do we have to have a separate? Yeah, okay. Oh,
I don't know.
And since this is a capital expenditure,
Yeah, we have to have a vote on it.
I'm-
but I think the delegation might have to have a say too.
2.
Yep.
Yep, the second. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we waive. What do we have to waive? Somehow.
You have to waive the competitive bid process and give a reason why you're waiving it in the motion.
Waiving to save funds, anticipation of increases in the near future.
I normally don't like to waive the bid process, but we did bid it out, and we didn't have anybody really that responded. And the other people did a nice job. And I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And we need a motion to change the,
To reallocate the funds.
to reallocate the funds, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. All right.
Do that for the delegation.
Now, I want to preface by apologizing for the late, last-minute entries into the
That's okay.
schedule today, but it all just kind of culminated this afternoon. I spent a lot of time in the last week doing this homework, and since our schedules are going to be conflicting for the next couple of weeks, I thought it was important that I bring this forward.
Okay.
All right. Most importantly, this building right here. The fire alarm panel gave up the ghost on us a couple weekends ago. This building is being currently monitored by the sprinkler system. If the sprinkler system were to go off, the fire alarm would go off, the fire department would respond. But we currently do not have any active smoke detectors in the building.
Okay.
The fire panel has aged out, it's irreparable. So I've worked with our alarm company that we have that's been here, and they gave us a quote to replace the panel for $6,340. This panel has hybrid capabilities, which means that we can adapt it to our existing system, the building as it is with the existing smoke detectors, and when and if this building, anything else happens to the building and the building gets converted to whatever purpose we choose, it can be modified without great expense to fit the new system. So it'll work for both old and new.
And do you have this in your budget?
This is not in the budget because it's an emergency expense,
Okay.
unplanned. However, I went to speak to Bonnie this morning, but we didn't meet up. And I was hoping that this could come out of ARPA funds, since ARPA funds are going to be spent on this building eventually anyways.
Yeah, we have not, that was another thing that I called on to see when they were voting on. The executive council has to vote on the money that was returned. And we have asked for another $5 million, which we probably won't get, but yeah, they haven't voted on that yet. And that goes to the governor, so.
I will, of course, run this by Bonnie,
Yeah.
but I would like to take it from ARPA funds, because it's consistent with what we were planning to do with this building.
Right. Okay, questions?
Is there anything that would make a difference in what the delegation does that would affect this? I mean, could they, I don't know, could they decide to cancel all this? Theoretically, could they cancel the whole building and when they meet?
Possibility.
I agree with you.
So is it a safety issue at this point, Bob?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I call it an emergency situation, yeah.
The building does house the laundry for the nursing home, so
Yes,
if
yeah.
anything was to happen to the building, we would have no laundry.
And we have meetings in this section of the building weekly.
Your insurance coverage too.
Yeah.
If anything were to happen, we'd be in trouble.
Sure, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to do it.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Recently, we sent out a couple of RFPs, one of them being the annex asbestos abatement. We can't move on this until the environmental, is it called an environmental report, environmental study?
The environmental review, yep.
Environmental review. We can't do anything until that's complete. However, on the premise that it's positive, we can move on it as soon as the report is complete. Again, whether or not anything happens to this building,
Well, that's gonna have to be done anyway.
We don't know yet, but the asbestos really should go. We've got asbestos floor tiles, the mastic that glues the floor tiles, and a lot of door and window caulking in the old part of the building is asbestos laced. I think it's a good idea to get rid of it. Again, it would come out of, I assume it would come out of ARPA funds.
Can I
You may.
I know where my son has a pastor of a church, and they have to take everything out of the building they just purchased. And before they could even tear it down, they had to have somebody come in and take all the asbestos out. So no matter what, it's gonna have to be removed, even if this whole thing, they decided not to use the building anymore. It's still gonna have to be removed at some point.
The reason, well, if the Siemens project goes through, we have to do this anyways.
Right.
But whatever happens, we should still do it. We should do it while the money's available.
Well, if it's torn down, it has to be done before it's torn down.
So one way or another, we're gonna have to do
It has
this.
to be done. And
I think it's a good idea to do it now.
what was the,
51.5.
this one bid?
No, actually, that's a pretty good price. We had a company come in and give us a budget estimate of about $125,000.
I was gonna say, at the old courthouse, they've spent close to 300,000.
Wow.
Just getting the asbestos out of there.
So if we've got a company that's gonna come in and do it for 51.5, and they've agreed to do it in 2 phases because I have to move stuff around in the building, for this dollar amount, I think we should jump on it.
Is that the other part that's not being used of the building?
It's the whole building, except for this back section. This back section where we are right now was built after,
Except for the windows.
in the mid to late 80s, yes. So it includes from the double doorway here forward.
And on the side, the wing?
Yep, the whole rest of the building, that side of the double doors.
When would we do this?
As soon as the environmental study is done. There's no reason we can't award it, but we can't physically do it. We've asked, and they said, no, you can't do anything until that study is done.
So what's the urgency to do it today?
What we just discussed, it needs to get done someday, sometime. And the money is available now. If we don't do it under
And
our...
where's the money coming from, ARPA?
Yeah. ARPA or the nursing home grant, or any combination of the two.
But even with the grant, we have to wait for the environmental
We have to
study.
wait for the environmental study to be done, yeah. And if we don't do it now, hypothetically, if we don't do it now, the remodel project doesn't happen, it's gonna end up being a capital item at some
For
point.
taxpayers?
Yes, for the taxpayers.
$51,000.
So while we have the financing in place, we should get it done.
I agree. I'll make a motion to
I'll second that motion.
51.5.
51.5.
I'll second that motion.
Depending on the environmental study.
Study, right, of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Point of information, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Does the ARPA requirement mean you have to be under contract by the end of the year?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And to follow up that question, we're on target for having the review done in time. Last week, we opened up 3 bids for the jail roof recover and annex roof repairs. I spent a lot of time with on the phone with our roof consultant, vetting these applications, or these RFP responses. And I received three bids. Derry Roofing for $530,000 for the jail, plus $17,000 for the annex. The Melanson Company for $682,500 for the jail, $50,000 for the annex. And Viking Roofing of $754,000 for the jail, and time and material price for the annex. Derry Roofing's pricing was attractive. However, they do not, from the manufacturer of the roofing product, they do not have the proper certifications, which means they can do the job, but we won't have any warranty. I'm very uncomfortable with that. The high bid, Viking Roofing, $754,000, and time and materials for the roof repairs here at the annex. I think that's high and should be rejected on those accounts. So I would recommend the Melanson Company, the middle bid, at $682,500, and $50,000 for roof repairs for the annex. And the Melanson Company has the certifications necessary to maintain warranty. They have done successful projects for our roof consultant previously. I think that they're the right company to do it. Even though they're the middle bid, higher than the low bid, but they're the best responsible bidder. And if we go forward with that project, I think they should be
Can
willing
you
to do it.
can you contact the lower bid and see if they will get certified? It's just a matter of doing it, or would you take them if they were certified?
Well, if they had the certifications, yes, but I don't want to make a recommendation on the promise that they might get the certifications in time for the project to start. What if they don't? Then we're behind the 8 ball. Ultimately, this is your decision, but I'm uncomfortable recommending a company that doesn't have the certifications.
I'd like to do a little more work on this if we could. I'd prefer not to vote on it today, unless there's a real pressing.
No, you don't have to vote on this
Yeah,
today.
I'd like to.
This is a project that's not going to happen until next spring.
That's what I thought, yeah. I prefer to do a little more work on this. I mean, there's a big difference between dairy roofing and you're talking $150,000 on a $682,000 job, so it's and I understand your concern, you're correct. You can't do a project without a warranty. I'd be a little happier if there wasn't quite as big a gap between the low bid and the high bid. But we'll talk about that. If it's acceptable.
There's no rush on it.
There's no rush. It's not going to hold anything up. Other than, the only thing that it could hold up is if we did go forward with this, they're only holding the material prices for 30 days
Okay,
because it's such a volatile market. If we do wait, we risk
higher price.
higher prices on the materials, yes.
So we've got 30 days, or whatever whenever the bid was. When did we get the bid last week?
Got the bid last week, yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple of weeks anyway. Okay. Right,
Would like them to be able to check with the first company and see if they can become certified.
He already told me that he'll attempt to get the certification.
The first person.
Yeah, I've already had the conversation with him. But I'm not comfortable making a recommendation unless it's in hand.
Well, I agree with that, I'm not questioning that, it's just
Have
that
they
I need a
applied this
reminder.
material before? Have they done this material before?
They've done other
Melanson?
projects.
No, Melanson.
Melanson, yes.
So
Melanson has
so
done,
Melanson's worked with this manufacturer.
they've worked with the manufacturer, they've installed the same product that we're planning to use.
And that's significant. I mean, there's a big difference in price, but it is significant, obviously. At that price, you don't want to be doing it again anytime soon.
Right. And I want to have a reputable company that I can call upon
Right.
if we
there's a
discover a
problem.
leak. And they're going to stand behind it.
Okay.
And Melanson comes with a double thumbs up from our roof consultant. He's worked with them before on other projects. That carries a lot of weight with me.
So we'll revisit this in 2 weeks?
Already good. Or the
I
next
won't be
week.
here in 2 weeks.
Yep. Pardon?
I won't be here in 2 weeks.
Next
You
week.
won't be.
No, it'll have to be 3 weeks.
That's fine.
Because next week,
Yep.
I don't know if we're having a meeting or not. The following week, I'm going to be on vacation.
Yep. You're gonna be on there.
So it'll be the following week that we can catch up.
Okay. Well, that put us in with the 30-day
Oh, I'm sure we'll be able to work with them on it.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. But I can't promise. That'd be silly to
I
promise.
understand.
Okay.
Madam
Anything
Chair,
else, Bob? Yes.
point of information. Who's going to be the project manager of the actual job?
That will, the roof repair, the roof job at the annex will be a combination of the roof consultant. Part of, we'll have to pay him a fee, but he's agreed that they'll be willing to monitor the progress of the roof.
And that's Northern?
Northridge Consultants.
Northridge Consultants. Okay.
Yeah.
My second question would be is, has there ever been an assessment of possible work that may need to be done within the jail because of the roof issue?
Yes.
And is that included in this cost?
No.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my comment.
Okay. Anything else, Bob?
Just wanted to let you know that we picked up our new box truck last week. It's in service already, and I'd like permission to sell the old box truck. It's county property. I need
Yes.
permission to sell county property.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Going out for bid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be much because the truck's not roadworthy. It's going to be sold as parts. Or if somebody wants to put the money into it, they can.
Right.
As futile as it would be.
Is that the Mitsubishi?
Well, no, it's an Isuzu at heart, but it's a GMC. It's got a GMC label on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have line item transfers.
Yep, you have two. Pass them down, that one,
Just got the list, huh?
and then let's take one of these and pass them down. Okay.
Sign them first.
Okay. There's the second one. Here you go. That's the second one. And then, no, those go down. Yep. Thanks. All right.
First, and
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the first one, request number 2024-09 from the Sheriff's Department, from account number 100-4211-007, salary deputies. He's requesting $35,000. From account number 100-4211-068, telephone, request for $1,000. Account number 100-4211-069, radio communications, $3,500, for a total of $37,755. And going in.
Actually, excuse me, it was the transfer amount $1,755.
Yeah,
We're requesting $35,000, $1,000, $1,755.
Right,
Not
$37,000.
$3,500, yeah, okay.
yeah. No, I didn't say 35.
Oh, I thought you said 35.
No. So, and it's going into just three separate accounts. First account is 100-4211-005, overtime, the amount of $35,000. Account number 100-421-065, propane, the amount of $1,000. And account number 100-421-090, department-specific software, for the amount of $1,755.
And there's an explanation on the back of your copy from the sheriff.
It says, I am requesting the transfers to the line items per the attached form. Below is the explanation. The line salary deputies to overtime line is due to covering shifts for vacations in the deputy position since the beginning of 2024 for a deputy out of workman's comp. Then a second vacancy since June 2024 as deputy resigned to go to a local police department. We now still have a deputy vacancy. The line telephone transfer to the propane line, the budget amount was again a projected amount needed. This is only the second year this line has been in the sheriff's budget. We did have some unforeseen generator repairs, emergency calls. The line radio communications to the department-specific software line. This is to cover a shortfall on the annual cost of the annual update for oxygen forensic software. This invoice was sent after the 2024 budget was submitted and overlooked the discrepancy in my proposed budget. Respectfully, Dominic Rishardi. Comments,
So
questions?
moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Signature copy. Thank you. And on the next one, she didn't write a letter, she just put the reason in the box on the form.
Okay, the next one is from IT, 2024-10, from account number 100, 4200-6066, contracts. She's requesting $55,000. Go into account number 100, 4200-097, new equipment. Transfers to allow the purchase of hardware for the new DOT.gov infrastructure project to meet compliance requirements.
Mrs. Bunny, she already has it in her budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
different
no, just for
line.
the sake of everybody out there. So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Signature copy.
Okay.
Thank you. And the delegation approve all the transfers 1 through 10 this afternoon.
Commissioners' comments, reports. I see that it was a request to vote on. I have no problem with doing that. We've never voted on it in the 6 years that I've been here or before. It's just been an expense that was incurred. So as far as I know, I don't think it's ever been voted on.
So Lisa is taking 2 people with her, I take it?
I don't have the breakout, so I think she
It
is.
says 3 day tickets and
Yep.
1 night,
So she's
703.
she's taking her staff, because they have a lot of conferences during the day.
I saw one come across for somebody who came for the dinner at the last
Yeah.
thing for $150.
Yeah.
Saying, you gotta be kidding me.
No. They're
I
very
went to one of the hotels and they had guests and we had to pay $100, they charged us $150 roughly for that person to have dinner. So.
So
I'm
what
not
is it
going
a
there.
day, 450? What is it a day? You're staying 1 day and 1 night for
Yeah,
$571.
and I said I pay for my own, so,
Right.
But wasn't the person who didn't stay overnight there? Well, maybe they did, that might sort of justify it, but about $150 for a meal?
yeah, I think it's 180 for the dinner. I'm not positive. And I wasn't going, but the only reason I'm going is I've been asked to do the award for Senator Bradley. And somebody from here should be there, so. Since we put him in for that award.
I'm gonna save the taxpayers a couple bucks, I'm not going. You
Yeah,
can
I would
represent
not
this.
go again either. I've been before, they're all the same, but I'm only going for that one purpose. And that's why we did our awards locally, which,
That saved us a little money.
yeah, there were 60 people there, and the bill was a little over $800. Can't beat that.
Why not, all those are paying all that money for a dinner, why don't they go to McDonald's or something? And skip the dinner.
There's no McDonald's in Brettonwood that we're.
Yeah, there's no McDonald's in Brentwood.
No, that's, well, I know. They've gotten really, and unfortunately, the next 2 years are also at the Mount Washington Hotel. It's probably the most expensive place. That's where this one is, yeah. They had
That's really outrageous in my opinion, but.
It is, so that's why we're not attending.
No.
Well, might not be anyway, but not here, but, okay. I don't
Okay.
know if you guys want to.
We don't have to, it's up to you.
No, I don't. It
All
makes no
right.
difference to me.
I mean, it's in their budgets.
Yeah, it's in the budget,
It's
so.
in their budgets,
Yeah.
but it's just annoying. That's a lot of money. The total bill is 3,300, give or take, 37. Okay.
For how many people?
There's, and we're also paying,
Paying for Sean.
yeah,
We're paying for Sean. Brian King is gonna stay for 3 nights. He's doing training, which probably is necessary.
Yeah.
Since he's the new superintendent,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get that.
yeah.
And Sean's staying 1 night, 2 dinners.
Do they have a campground nearby, a KOA?
Yeah, good idea.
Motel 6?
Okey-dokey.
Okay. Any other business?
We need to
Non-public?
vote on that?
Yes, we have non-publics. I think you might have requested one,
Yes.
Madam Chair.
You said we don't have any?
No, you do. Sorry, I'm not. So we have one under C. You asked the nursing home administrator to come over, I
Yep,
think?
under
Probably C?
C.
Okay. And then we have one from the HR director is also C. And I think that's it. So,
Okay.
under C.
So all under C.
Madam Chairman, I ask that we go into, make a motion to go into non-public session for number C, or letter C, matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the public body itself, unless such person requests an open meeting. The exemption shall extend to any application for assistance or tax abatement or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy, if based on inability to pay or the poverty of the applicant.
Second.
All those in favor, roll call vote?
McGee, Nelson, yes. McGee?
Yes.
McCarthy?
Yes.
12:48.
Who's up first?
Rich?
Okay, is he on his way over?
Yep.
Okay, good.
When I think of that meal the whole way home.
Isn't
They're usually
Brettonwood
not
the
that
place
good
where
either.
the Federal Reserve and our money was
Yeah,
negotiated?
yeah, that's where the money was negotiated.
That's kind of fitting, isn't it?
Yeah,
1944.
yeah. They got a whole room dedicated, I've seen it. Been there quite a few times.
Are
Pretty
any,
nice, I mean, it's a nice spot.
are any of you staying for the delegation meeting?
I can't stay.
It's,
I got a CIPC
I'm
meeting
only
in
staying from the
Marlboro, 2
beginning, I have
o'clock.
to be somewhere else for the rest of it.
Okay.
I don't know. It depends. I'm going to call home first because, sure.
Why don't you appoint me, Fred, and Dallas to be
We'll sit in for you.
agents for you?
Can we do that to the delegation?
As commissioners, you can do anything.
I'm pretty sure they know who we are.
Well, they know who you are.
Melissa, is this gonna take long? How long?
I don't think so.
No.
Rich should be like 10 minutes, Linda probably 15.
Okay.
Probably out of here by 1:15.
Good. Perfect.
Does that work for you,
That works.
for your next thing?
My
Okay.
next,
Alrighty.
next thing up.
Well, it's tough to be such a busy guy and want
It is.
so many places.
It's not easy.
That's right now.
How long do you think that's gonna
I just wanted to go back to the other
as my mother would say, mach schnell, mach schnell.
Yes.
I'm sorry, forgot about it, we gotta get back.
Yes, I
I
have
never
to
even
do
thought
that.
about it. I thought you were walking out, and I said, well,
All right.
I make a motion to come out of non-public session.
Seal the
Seal the
minutes.
minutes.
And seal absolutely.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 129.
Sorry about that, guys.
Perfect, right on schedule.
Now you're gonna recess or adjourn and which nobody's gonna be there.
Yeah, we'll just adjourn.
Okay, so
We
you're
don't know
gonna
when the
adjourn.
next meeting's gonna be.
Okay.
We'll have one next week or not.
That was it?
Okay.